Howdy, hi. It is Do Your Job Sports college basketball picks and predictions for Saturday, March 8th, 2025. We are looking at the best bets of the day. Let's get into the video. All right, first things first, we have to recap the previous day's results. On the day, pretty boring. We go 3-3, bringing our season record to 437 and 409. We added $9 to the giveaway, bringing that total to $39, and that will be given away at the end of the season. So I'm going to recap these games right quick, then we'll get on to the picks for tomorrow. Game number 1, I think it was the second game of the day. Drake, neutral site game, conference tournament against Southern Illinois. They take care of business. They win 70-53, shooting at 44% from the field, only 59% from the free throw line, 13 of 22. But it doesn't really matter when you force the opponent into 14 turnovers and you win the offensive rebound battle. Southern Illinois struggles to put the ball in the hoop. Their season is now donezo. We then had Asheville minus 5.5 points. This one basically a no-sweat winner, minus like the first 10 minutes of the game. Asheville 80, Charleston Southern 60. Asheville 54% from the field, 44% from deep. Southern 25% from deep, 62% from the free throw line. They won the offensive rebound battle. They got destroyed in the turnover battle, 16-7. So Asheville moves on. Now our last winner, South Dakota, North Dakota State, might have been the game of the night. We had the over 165. South Dakota wins 85-84. They score 95 points in the second half. It was really all from the free throw line. There was a total of 52 free throws attempted. Neither team, well, actually, that's not true. North Dakota State, 48% from deep. South Dakota, just 29%, but they had the more free throws attempted. They won the offensive rebound battle, and they won the turnover battle. So shout out to South Dakota going into North Dakota State and ending their season. That's wild. Our losers, we started in the MAC with the over 160.5 between Buffalo and Akron. This one just barely misses, but it misses. Buffalo 70, Akron 88. The problem mainly was in the first half when Buffalo scored 24. They scored 46 in the second, so if they could have put the ball in the hoop in the beginning of the game, we would have been okay. I also kind of expected Akron to score more than 88. They took their foot off the gas. They only shot it 63% from the free throw line, 36% from deep. Akron finishes the regular season 25-6. Our next loser, despite having a 15-point halftime lead, I think, Delaware minus 5.5. They had a 16-point halftime lead. They only win the game by 4, as they allow Stony Brook to beat them in the second half, 42-30. Delaware, 35% from deep. They lost the offensive rebound battle, won the turnover battle, but they allowed Stony Brook to shoot at 51% from the field, 47% from deep. You're not going to win many basketball games doing that or cover. So they did win, but they did not cover the 5.5 needed. And this one, this was brutal. Purdue, plus 4.5. They had a 4-point lead with 2.5 minutes left. Illinois closes the game on a 13-1 run. 13-1 in the final 2.5 minutes. Purdue loses. They don't cover the 4.5. Kind of a bad beat. I would love to see the stat of percentage of time in the lead for this game. Purdue was probably winning for 75% of this game, 80% of this game. Doesn't matter though. They lose and don't cover the number. So that's the recap. Let's get on to the picks for tomorrow. First game we're looking at, you guys should already know where I'm headed. Stanford, Louisville. I'm taking Stanford plus the 12.5. Technically, Stanford is on the ban list. We're going to go ahead and make an exception here. This is the final game of the regular season play in the ACC. We are going to continue to fade Louisville. They suck at basketball. Stanford, 19-11 on the year, 7th in the ACC. They score 74 points a game, played a bottom 100 pace shoot it 44% from the field. This is their second road game in a row out east to end the regular season. They just lost at Notre Dame by 2 points. I think they can keep this one close. They match up well size-wise against Louisville, who is one of the smaller teams in the ACC. Louisville, 24-6 on the year. They've won 8 games in a row. How? Because they've played the worst teams in the conference. They have not played a good basketball team in a month and a half. They average 80 points a game, played a top 125 pace, shoot it 45% from the field. They keep covering these games they have no business of covering. The run ends here. If you're a man, you play Stanford money line. Fuck Louisville. Next game, Oklahoma and Texas. Why is Texas laying 5.5 points to anyone in the SEC? Oklahoma coming off of a 12-point home win against Missouri. I think they're going to keep on rolling here at Texas. This could be a massive game when it comes to NCAA tournament implications. Oklahoma, 18-12 on the year. They do need a lot of help getting to the big dance, and it would start with a win at Texas. They score 79 points a game, played a top 125 pace, shoot it 47% from the field. They've already played Texas this year. They lost at home by 4 points. This is a fantastic revenge spot in a pretty interesting situation Texas is in. Texas, 17-13 on the year. They also need a decent amount of help to make the tournament, despite coming off of a road win at Mississippi State. They score 78 a game. These teams, pretty similar stats. Both need this win massively. I like the revenge angle for the Sooners. They're both coming off of massive wins. Should be a good game. I think we get down to the final possession. So for that reason, I'll take the road team. Boomer Sooner. Let's go. Next one, maybe the game of the day, maybe not. Actually, both teams here, Duke and the Bama game, bangers. Bama plus 8.5, over 177.5, Alabama and Auburn. We've been betting both of these teams overs for basically the entire season, so we're going to hammer that. And I'm surprised this line is so high. Yes, Alabama's lost back-to-back games, but they're still one of the best teams in the country. Bama 23-7 on the year. Their 2 losses in a row have come to Tennessee on the road on a buzzer beater and Florida at home, where Florida almost scored 100. They score 91 a game, play at the fastest pace in the country, shoot it 48% from the field. Recently have not been shooting the ball that well from deep. That was their big problem at Tennessee and then at home versus Florida. If they can find the stroke again from outside, whether it's Sears, whether it's Grant Nelson, whether it's their freshman their sophomore who transferred from Auburn last year, who I forget the name of, someone's got to find it from deep. I think they can do it in the final regular season game of the season. Auburn 27-3 on the year, coming off of an 11-point road loss to Texas A&M. They score 85 a game, played a top 150 pace, shoot it 48% from the field. Their previous matchup with Bama landed at 179 points with a 9-point victory for Auburn. That is basically what the line is set at. So I think we see a reverse game. Give me Bama. Give me the over. Next game, Duke on the road at UNC minus 10.5. I wonder if this is the biggest line Duke has ever laid at North Carolina. I think it would make sense if it was true. Most people are going to be on UNC here. I say fuck them. UNC isn't good. They've played 6 horrible basketball teams in a row. I will take Duke to win by 20 plus. Duke is 27-3 on the year. They've won 7 games in a row, scoring 84 points per contest, playing at a bottom 75 pace, shooting at 49% from the field. They make 10 three-pointers a game. They've already beaten UNC by 17 points. They match up really well. UNC struggles because they don't have a true center. Malawach should be able to feast. They don't have anyone who can guard Flag. And if we're talking about how deep the benches are, Duke puts them to shame. North Carolina, 20-11 on the year. They've won 6 in a row, but it's against horrible teams. I will now read off the teams they've beaten. Syracuse, ass. NC State, even worse than ass. Virginia, horrible. Florida State, horrible. Miami, horrible. Virginia Tech, horrible. Those are their most recent wins. They have not played a good basketball team since Clemson, who they lost to. That was a month ago. Duke's defense ranked third in the country. UNC is not going to be able to score here again. Their first meeting in Durham, they only got to 70 points. I think we see that again. Give me Duke 94, UNC 69. Oop, I skipped 2 slides. Here we go. Next one, Liberty, Western Kentucky. Give me the Hilltoppers plus 3.5 at home. Conference USA final regular season game of the year. Number 1 team in the conference, Liberty, taking on the Hilltoppers. Western Kentucky already won at Liberty this year. Normally, I do like a revenge angle, but in the final home game of the season on senior night, I will take Western Kentucky plus 3.5. Liberty 24-6 on the year, coming off of a 5-point road win at Middle Tennessee. They average 75 a game, played a bottom 150 pace, shoot it 48% from the field. They win most of the stats here, but they just play a completely different style of basketball than Western Kentucky does. And it is obvious, as seeing as though they lost at home, it fucks with them mentally. Western Kentucky 17-13 on the year. They just beat FIU by 9 at home in their previous game. They score 76 per contest, played a top 15 pace. That's going to bother Liberty again. The crowd should be rocking. Final home game of the year. Going to be a fantastic game to watch. Definitely recommend tuning in. Next, we are headed to the Big East. Providence, Xavier. I'm taking the Musketeers at home, minus the 10.5. This is a massive game for Xavier. If they can win this one handedly, I think they basically all but guarantee their spot into the big dance. Providence, their season's over. Their flights to Cancun are already booked. This is senior day, final home game for Xavier. They are the oldest team in the Big East. The environment should be rocking. Student section is going to be lit. I think they get this done by a big number. Providence 12-18 on the year. They've lost 4 games in a row. They score 71 per contest, played a bottom 100 pace, shoot it just 44% from the field. All of their big guys are injured. Looks like they've basically quit for the rest of the year. Xavier 20-10 on the year, 5th in the Big East. They score 78 a game, played a top 125 pace, shoot it 47% from the field. They've won 6 games in a row. They've already beaten the Friars by 9 on the road. Final home game of the year. Yes, sir, minus 7.5. Lock it up. Last game of the day for me, Arizona, Kansas, taking the over 152.5. Kansas has lost 2 in a row. They need a big win in the final home game of the year. Arizona coming off of a 213-point total game against Arizona State. I think we are in for some points. Arizona 20-10 on the year, 3rd in the Big 12. They average 82 points a game, played a top 75 pace, shoot it 47% from the field. They are great on the boards. That is one thing Kansas struggles with. Ranked 11th in the country. Should be able to grab plenty of offensive rebounds. We all know Hunter Dickinson is not going to grab any boards because he sucks. Kansas 19-11 on the year. They score 75 a game, play at a top 150 pace. They've been struggling big time, but back home, one final game, senior night. If there was ever a game to get up and score 85 points to win it, this is it. Give me the over, 152.5. Spread is close. There could be free throws at the end as well. All right, that is going to do it for me in this video. I appreciate y'all watching and tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.